Well, good afternoon, this is Houndog Steve wishing you a very pleasant afternoon, and here we are in the beginning of October, 1st of October, and we have a beautiful fall day on our hands, and well, so much has changed since I last spoke to you. This has been, I took a sort of 2-week hiatus, I guess. I re-uploaded a couple of videos, but I've been getting over a stomach bug. No, it wasn't the Rona. I don't know what it was, but boy oh boy, it knocked me down on my back, and yeah, I just had to take it easy for a couple of weeks there, and really didn't have too much energy at all. So anyway, I'm glad that's over with. I'm feeling pretty good right now, and I thought I'd catch you up on a few things going on around the property. So let's take a little walk around, and well, we'll see what's going on. Okay, here we go. So the fall cleanup has begun, and I did transplant all of these. This is the Swiss chard, that's right, Swiss chard, red Swiss chard. And I took all of the seed pods off the onions, and they are drying as we speak. And of course, as you can see, the peas are drying out. I'll be picking those and sorting them in a very short while. Lettuce is bolting, they're going to seed. I'll be collecting those seeds. So we're really into you know, the fall setting. Tomatoes still going strong. I'm sure I'm going to still get a few tomatoes, although it is cooling down, there's no doubt about it. We've had a couple of frosts, although it was very light around here. I picked all my squash, they're just hardening in the sunshine right there, so I've got a few acorn squash for the winter time. And again, this is really going to be a seed gathering year. Dill and cilantro, because it is the first year here, and well, it takes a little while to set things up. So anyway, you know, one of the things when you look around, I am surrounded by beauty every single day of the week. It is so peaceful, it is so quiet. Don't ask me why the dog is in the fire pit eating grass, but there you go. It is just an amazing situation to find yourself in, and yes, it's easy to drift in a situation like this. I see what people tell me when they retire, that at the weekend, are you kidding me? All the days seem the same. Yes, the wood splitting process is forever ongoing and stacking, and anyway, we are weeding our way through all of this, and you know, and seeing as I got my main set of wood split, I will just do this when I have times to get in there and get it done. I've got quite a bit stacked. There's probably only about two cord left or something to split and stack. And yes, I've been staining today. These boards are deck boards for the upper deck, and there was just some rot had set in, and you know, as it went back into use, and people walking on it, the dog walking on it, so on and so forth, yeah, a lot of that rot sort of showed up on the edges and what have you, so I thought I would replace those boards. And of course we are getting ready to fire up this furnace. I've been putting it off as long as possible so I can let this wood season and dry, because as I said, it was awfully late going up, and so I got my fingers crossed that everything is going to work. And of course the big question too is with solar. Now all of a sudden, you know, see, this is the interesting thing, you know, we are getting into fall now, the days are getting shorter. And as soon as winter hits and I turn this furnace on, there will be 6 circulating pumps, actually 7 circulating pumps, because there's one in the furnace here, and a fan, basically going 24/7 for the whole winter. And boy oh boy, we're close to the knuckle on the voltmeter in the house. In the summertime, we get up to, it goes from a range, I should say, from 48 volts to 66 volts. And in the summertime, you have no problem achieving 66 volts. However, right now, I'm sitting on 50, 51, 52 volts a day, and that's at the peak. And I've got nothing turned on right now, and it will cut out at 48 volts. The inverters switch off and you have to turn the generator on. So we are going to see. It's going to be very, very interesting whether it's going to be interesting, a big experiment. And I am looking at another generator as a backup to the generator that we have, because it is such a critical piece of equipment. Yes, one of those things you've got to have around. And of course, there are shortages. I have been trying to get backups on everything, and so I ordered a new computer, a Lenovo, a little plug for Lenovo there. I thought it was a great site. It's a lot like Dell used to be. You can actually build your computer on the Lenovo website and order it, because they have some special requirements for videos. And yes, 4 months wait. And they're citing COVID-related shortages. So there you go. Now this is my new hobby. This is part of an antenna that I was given by Jim Swanson. He's now passed, but he works in Newfoundland, and this is one of the light towers on the Gander Airport runway. Okay, and I was going to use this for an antenna, and now it's going to be for a CB antenna. So I'm hoping I can put this all together again, but it's painted up real nice. They're alternate, red and white. And why am I getting into CB? There's a couple of reasons. One is because it is going to be a long, cold winter, and it gives me something to do. You get a good CB with a single sideband, and you can talk to, well, just about anywhere in the world. And so, yes, I think I'm going to do that as a bit of a hobby, but at the same time, there are several people up here in this area who are concerned, like I am, that we could be going into some issues this fall and in the winter, and so we are forming emergency preparedness groups, and we hope to have groups of 8 people, no further than 15 kilometers apart. So if you get into a situation, you immediately have 16 people can come pull you out of the ditch, help get you out of the driveway, whatever it is, get you medication, whatever your problem is, there will be 16 people potentially to come to your aid. And this is one of the ways we're going to stay in contact with each other, is through CB, because again, services may go down. Who knows? This is a fairly reliable source of communication. It runs outside of the regular system, and you can power it with a regular car battery and be in contact with the other members of the group. And so, yes, this is something that we're putting together, and I think that it's important, because one of the things that I am hearing is that because we're now getting into a position where people are being forced to take the jab or leave their job, guess what? There's an awful lot of people in government, especially in emergency services, who are deciding to take a leave of absence rather than take the jab or get fired. And so if you figure, where they say that we are at 75%, there you go, little float plane. If you imagine that we are 75% who've got the jab. So there are 25%, there could be 25% of your emergency services personnel are going to take a leave of absence or are going to be dismissed if they can't do that because they refuse to become inoculated. So this could easily lead to some shortages in the emergency services department, and so, like I say, we discussed this, and we feel that it is important for at least to have some kind of emergency preparedness going on, where we can help each other out in situations of difficulty and share information on how to save and store food. In fact, what I will do is I will link below here a government website, very good website, and it's for preparation for 72 hours without any services at all. And so that is from the government, and that would seem a prudent thing to do, especially in a situation where, hey, there are going to be shortages. I'm hearing so much gossip. I should say gossip. I hear so much talk on the internet right now about inflation, rising food costs, shortages of gasoline, propane, an energy shock. So much could be going on this winter time that could really, disturb us in ways that we've never been disturbed before. And so yes, I would urge all of you to get together, make it groups of 8. We found that groups of 8 is a manageable number, and once you get to 10, they spring off and form another group. And very easy to do. Emergency preparedness. This is something that you cannot go wrong with. Everybody should be doing this, actually. It doesn't have to be, like this, whole crazy, build a dugout and this kind of stuff. It's just a group of people who agree to take some training and to help each other out should there be a difficult situation arise. Nothing more and nothing less than that. And as I say, I think that is a very good idea right now. I can't be the only one who's been listening to the videos and hearing the discussions, reading the articles. Worldwide shortages. The supply chains have been disrupted, and there is no mistaking that. And that is going to have a profound effect on all of us. So, you might want to consider that. Even if you start with, you doesn't have to start with it. You can start with a friend. Somebody who agrees with you that this situation, could be serious, and get together. And maybe they know, but this might take a little while to put the whole thing into practice. But we are going into winter, and certainly in Canada, boy oh boy, you better be prepared for winter, buddy. This is no joking around. This is not like Southampton, where I came from in England, where you could probably camp out the entire winter. It might be a little uncomfortable, in January, but Jesus, beginning of February, the crocuses are coming up. That ain't like that in Canada. You have a 7-month season where you would die of exposure if you didn't have some kind of heating and protection to keep the environment off you. Unbelievable. Canada is wow. Yeah, you better be ready for winter. And so, let me just take you over here. I'm going to do a quick jump. Okay, here we are. This bucket of water, I put this bucket out here. It was empty 10 days ago. And there is now 6 inches of water in that bucket. We have had an unbelievable amount of rain in the last 10 days, and of course it's going to start raining again tomorrow. If that had come down as snow, you're looking at 6 feet of snow. Freezing rain, 6 inches of freezing rain. Can you imagine in 10 days? I mean, that's a showstopper. That's bringing down hydro lines. Roads will become impassable. That is when you need to have some people at your back. And so, yes, this is a very prudent move to make right now, and I, again, would recommend that all of you do that. And in the meantime, everything is great here. And as you can hear, the dog just loves it out here. She is having the time of her life, and so am I. I am very, very grateful and humbled to find myself in this wonderful, wonderful situation. Okay, so this is Houndog Steve signing off, wishing you a very pleasant afternoon, and we'll talk very, very shortly. You take care now. See ya. Bye.